Well, hey there, TNLC. Welcome to the Meet the Leader podcast. This is starting off a little differently than you're used to, I know, but I have a quick PSA for you. Now, before we get to the PSA, I would like you to do something. Just listen. Maybe close your eyes if you'd like to, unless you're driving. Do not close your eyes if you're driving. Eyes on the road. However, if you're not, close your eyes. Listen to the sound of my voice. You can hear it. It probably sounds nice and crisp and clear. There's not a lot of other noises that are coming in, not like any static. You probably can't hear the sound of the air conditioning. This is what you have grown accustomed to on our Meet the Leader podcast audio. However, here's the PSA. For some reason or another, it's mainly because technology is not my friend, apparently. We do not have the same level of audio excellence on this episode of Meet the Leader podcast. You can hear it from, you can hear the difference between now and when you actually begin to listen to the real podcast. For some reason or another, we did not have that audio file, even though I set everything up, I ran all the cables, I checked all the microphones, I even hit the record button, I even saw the record numbers counting as it was recording. It was red and only does that when you're recording, and I don't know what happened. Anyway, though we may not have the exact same level of audio quality in this one as we have in all the rest, we still have the great quality content that we have for every Meet the Leader episode, including an incredible leader that you get to meet. Maybe you don't know her, maybe you do, but you're about to get to know her in a way that maybe you never have before. Welcome to Meet the Leader podcast. Thanks for joining.
Welcome to the Meet the Leader podcast with your hosts, Sam and Colin. This is the TNLC podcast that, Colin, you didn't write anything. What the heck?
That's right. So put down a TNLC pen that you obviously did not return, but mainly because you haven't been in the building for months now. And open a nice can of Diet Coke. That's my best Michigan accent. It says to do it in a Michigan accent. Because you're about to get to know TNLC leaders like never before. What's going on, TNLC fam? We are so glad that you're tuning in to today's podcast segment where we interview some of your favorite TNLC leaders. Remember, no notes, just fun today.
That's right. We will do all the hard work. We just need you to stay awake and enjoy.
Don't fall asleep.
Don't.
That would hurt Sharon's feelings.
It's okay.
Speaking of feelings and
Sharon.
humans, this is Sharon. Hey, say hi to everybody, Sharon.
Hi guys, I'm Sharon.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's pretty toasty in this room right
Yes.
now. I don't know if you can see us glistening or
Absolutely.
not. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here at TNLC?
Yes, I am the communication administrator here at TNLC. So things that you see on social media, on the church app, on the website, that email reminder you get, that invitation you might get, follow up, there's a chance that I'm behind it.
That response to the angry email that you send
What?
is probably someone else.
No. So that's why I do. Just making sure people know what's going on at TNLC,
Mhm.
using different platforms. So
Yeah,
A lot. Sharon does a lot.
she really does. Like everything. When you hear administrator, you might think like, yeah, she administrates a lot
Yeah.
on a large scale for sure.
well, yeah, I guess so.
So how long have you been at TNLC?
Nick and I, my husband Nick and I, we started attending back in 2014, like the end of 2014. So we were looking for a home church for about a year. We would give, we would go to different churches, give it a try for a few times, but nothing felt like home yet. And then one day we drove around this area probably, and then we saw a sign, the road sign, TNLC road sign. And I stalked the Facebook or the website, I don't know which one, but I told Nick, let's give it a try one more time. And we decided to visit, and we fell in love with it.
Awesome.
Did you say when that was? Did I miss that part?
Yeah, it's around
Sounds about right.
2014, like the end of 2014. But I did say that, yeah.
Sometimes
Noted.
we get Sharon, spicy Sharon, and
That was mild spicy.
That was
like
mildly
Taco
spicy,
Bell
yeah.
mild packets.
Oh,
But
even the spicy, it's not spicy. The hot one.
oh, you're talking about the packet. Not like, no, when you get spicy, it can be pretty spicy.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, but
If you're also wondering what that means, some spicy Sharon is kind of like Sharon she's had it and it's
Yeah.
game time. She's
Yeah.
she's ready for some
I guess
lay
so.
down the law.
Oh, I guess. I love spicy food, so maybe that's why.
Just when I have more of it, just
So you've been here since 2014.
Mhm.
How did you become involved in like volunteering and staff? How did all of that play out?
Yeah, so we started attending and we love it. It's so funny because things that Nick likes or pay attention to and things that I pay attention to are like kind of different every time, you know. So Nick loves all the nerd stuff, the media, the sound and all that stuff. When I'm more like, oh, I love the people. I want to see, the people. And once we share with one another our opinions and we both agree, okay, this is gonna be our home church, then we start attending newcomers. Now it's Connect Point, and
which is something that you used to administrate very well. You do all that
And
stuff,
amazing.
all the behind the scenes.
I love that. Yeah, that's like one of the joys. So we attended newcomers and then starting point, and then start to serve. Nick was serving on the media team and I was serving on the music team that time.
Yes, Sharon used to serve on the music team.
You
You didn't know
know.
that. Now you do.
So not only
Back
can
in the
she
days.
administrate like a boss, she's got some vocal cords
Just
too.
don't try to make me sing.
I won't do that.
It's too hot in here.
I won't do that.
Like-
That's the reason. I can't sing. It's too hot. That's-
But yeah, I used to do that. So
Yeah.
that's how we get involved.
How did you get involved in staff then?
Okay, so in 2016, when Mr. Collins got promoted to be
Mr.
New
Collins.
Life Students Director.
Mr. Director.
New Life Director, so the church, of course, was looking for another church administrator.
Because
And-
Collins.
Who was the
it?
administrator before you, Sharon?
You guys miss out.
Who was it? Who would that have been?
Mr. Collins.
Oh, so
That's
many
right.
of you just had this
Wait,
oh,
what?
hold on. TNLC is still functioning and it went through that? Yeah. I'm not the best administrator, but I didn't destroy God's call for
You did
TNLC
not,
in
no.
Trinity, Florida.
Good job. You did a great
Nailed
job.
it.
So they were looking because Colin
Yes.
got
Promoted.
a new position.
New position.
Everyone was very happy about it.
And that's when I started working here. Cool.
She took over for me and now she's just killing it.
Yeah.
Have there ever been any times where you've had to maybe fix large errors in PCO because maybe the person who was doing the things in PCO was doing it wrong for months at a time? Has that ever happened or
Hypothetically
probably
speaking.
not? Probably not.
I think there
doubt
was a time when I don't know what though, probably like connection cards or something, and then Shayla was like, "Well, you're supposed to do this part," and then we found out that Colin never.
I think I just
never
missed
did
that part of the
like
training.
never ever since he became an admin, and then we're just like, okay.
And
But it's fine now.
everyone praise
fine.
the Lord.
Everything's
that-
fine
yeah.
now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your husband Nick. Tell us a little bit more about your family.
About my family, well, I have mom and dad and brother, younger brother. Younger, yes. And Nick and I, we've been married for 7 years now. Nick also served here at the church. He leads our live stream team. And yes, and then I don't know what else. Family, I have a lot of extended family in Indonesia. And
Where?
Indonesia.
Is that where you're from?
That's where I'm from.
You like that segue? There you go.
She also already said that, but that's okay.
I don't know, did I forgot. I don't know. Anyway, yes, I'm from Indonesia, Colin.
You heard it here for the very first time just now. She's from Indonesia.
I'm from
Oh,
Indonesia.
it is, because that was during our sound check that she was talking about Indonesia for the first time. So my apologies, everyone. My apologies, Colin.
I accept.
Thank you.
So Indonesia, tell us a little about Indonesia life.
Indonesia life? Like back then?
Yeah,
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
from the past.
From the past. Well, Indonesia is a country in Southeast Asia. Fun fact, it's actually a country with the largest Muslim population in the world.
Muslim.
Yes.
I thought you said muscling.
Oh, Muslim?
They're very strong.
Largest Muslim population. Don't mess with Indonesia. Okay.
Really? I did not know that.
It is,
Oh.
yeah.
You wouldn't think that.
It's not a Muslim country, but it is the largest
It's the largest
population.
population.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a very accepting country, I would assume, because all the Muslims are like, we should go there.
Yeah, well, yes, it is pretty big. So, but I mean, if you're not Muslim, it's pretty much you're like minority there. You see a lot of people who are Christians too, or having other religions. But yeah, that's pretty much. And people are so nice.
So you moved here with your family when you were
Mhm.
16? Okay.
Yeah, I moved here. I always wanna go to America since I was little. I always wanna go to America. I always love all the American movies. I love Home Alone, and always like, I just wanna go there.
I don't
It's
even
so
think I've
cool.
seen Home Alone.
Really? Oh man.
You've never seen Home. What do you do at Christmas? Do you just
Watch other movies? Like Elf?
okay?
It's
If
Christmas,
you
Sam.
think also a good one, but
Hey,
if you
I'll-
think Sam should watch Home Alone, don't even email podcast. Email Sam. Email Samantha at com and say you need to watch Home Alone.
Okay, so Sharon likes American movies.
Yeah, I love that. I love. I just always want to do that, and my parents like just pray about it then, you know. But then September 11 happened,
Mhm.
and it just get really hard to come here, especially like I said, living in a country with the largest Muslim population in the world. It's just like nope, not gonna happen. So for years I was like, yeah, you know what, maybe it's just a dream. It will never happen. And then a few years later, I mean not a few years, many years later, fast forward, we had another opportunity to do that, and then we were like, all right, let's do this. Let's left everything that we have, that we know, and move from the east to the west, learning new language, new culture, and everything. So that's how.
So did you learn English when you got here, or did you? Is
I
English a
learned-
very popular language in Indonesia?
Yeah, well, the first language, English is not the first language in Indonesia, but I did learn some English like in school or extracurricular. There you go. But not conversation. Like it's, you learn, but it's different when you move here and then you have to speak to the, you know, native speakers. So.
Yeah.
So how difficult was it for you coming over and not having that full grasp? Was that like a huge setback, or like what was that like?
Well, you know, if you ask people from who live in other country, they would think America is like, oh, that freedom, that American dream, you know, all that fun stuff. Like you think all the neighborhood in America is like a Home Alone movie.
Sam wouldn't know.
You know, Sam, like all that nice, like looking.
Suburbia. Like,
Yeah.
There you go. Yes.
You know, and leaving your kids at home when you go on vacation. That
Right.
kind of
Yes.
yeah.
And as much as you prepare yourself, like, okay, you know, the weather's gonna be different, the language gonna be different,
Right.
the culture's gonna be different, whatever you learn from books, movies, or whatever, it's all different, you know, when you move here, you like experience that, it's like, it's a culture shock, I guess, I would say. Yeah, everything is different, but I'm grateful I live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are grateful that you live here too,
Thank
Sharon.
you.
And was it last summer that you got to? Was that in the summer that you got to celebrate
It was
something?
September
September.
11,
Okay.
actually,
Oh,
last year.
wow.
Uh-huh. Yes, I got to.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I got to become a U.S. citizen finally after so many years. It was fun. It was crazy
What was the
journey.
process like?
What the process like? There are a lot of like rules and requirements you have to meet in order to become a U.S. citizen. Moral character, you have to know. You have to have a good moral character. You have to know U.S. history.
Things that most U.S. citizens don't know.
And then you know they want to make sure you know how to read and write in English. Yeah, it's pretty much that. Once you meet that requirement, there's a lot of paperwork you have to fill out. It's expensive.
How long was that process from when you started like I'm gonna start the process of officially becoming a citizen to when it?
Well, I guess every state is different, but thankfully in Tampa, Florida, it is pretty quick for me. So I applied April last year, and then had an interview on August, and in September 11, I already.
Wow, so less than a year.
Yeah, less than a year. So what,
Wow.
5 months? Yeah, it wasn't bad. But I know in some other states, you know, it could take like up to 2 years. So it just depends. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So here's a question I've been really interested about. Have you ever had a nickname?
Nickname.
And what was it?
Okay, I don't know where this come from. I don't know who gave it to me, but some people call me Sharon or Sharon. It depends, whatever you like. It's like my ghetto name, guys.
Sharon.
So was
Yes.
that outside of TNLC, or is that only because I hear it a ton here, but I didn't know
I-
It's
that
probably
was.
here.
If I had to guess, I'd say it was John Mackisback.
Probably.
Probably.
Okay.
That or Clayton.
Yeah.
Maybe Clayton got a glimpse of spicy Sharon.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, oh, Sharon.
Sharon.
I don't know, but so yeah. So
Yeah,
you
no.
do sometimes go as Sharon here
When
at the
I
church.
feel different.
Is that-
I don't know.
When she's channeling her inner spice, it's her inner spice girl. It's Sharon.
So is that the only time you ever had like a nickname?
I mean, when I was little, the alphabet in Indonesia is different, right? Like the way you pronounce alphabet is different, like than here. So according to my parents, back then, I couldn't say like Sharon, so I would call my name like Sion.
Sion.
Oh my goodness, it's so Asian name. So my family would call me that growing up, but yeah, I was like, no, that's nice. Yeah, I guess.
Sion.
Nick would call me that too sometimes. I'm like, oh, Nick, people will think that's such a weird name. But yes.
It's
Wait.
endearing.
So Sharon.
Sharon,
The name Sharon.
that's my name in my birth certificate. Yes.
Oh, so that's okay. So you were always Sharon.
Yes. You know what's funny? Like people, when I first moved here, people would ask me that, what's your name? Sharon. Well, but what's your real name?
Oh no.
Sharon, you want to see my birth certificate? Like, oh, you don't have that? You know, that's Chinese, you know, or like Japanese. Not all Asians are the same, you know?
And eventually she just goes, it's Sion. That's okay. You got me. Just to end the conversation.
That's my real name.
I have never and will never experience someone walking up to me and be like, hey,
Yeah.
where are you from? And then like
Yeah.
with a fully
Yeah.
like American accent,
Yeah.
you're like, Florida. Like, well, but where are you really from?
Right.
Well, that's why some people, I guess, some people will change their name when they move here, you know? Like, oh, it's just so much easier to just, I don't know, like some American
Sharon.
name. I'm Sharon, you know? And then instead of, well, my name is this and that, and
Yeah.
then you gotta
Do you
go.
have a middle name? Is a middle name a thing in Indonesian culture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. So, my middle name is Junisia. So, Sharon Junisia. Yeah.
She's very pretty.
Which,
Okay, Junisia.
you know why? Because I was born in June in Indonesia. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
God, please tell. Wait, were you actually born in June?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
that
that
works.
has to be.
So how do you spell it then?
So that means.
Junisia. Junisia.
So
I
my
mean,
son,
that-
who's about to be born, his middle name is going to be Junerica. Unless in the next few days, then it's just Mayerica.
America.
America.
Yes. This is blank. Nice try. I'm not
But you know what's
good.
funny though?
Trying.
I do not. When I get married, I move. I don't use my middle name, so I just go by my maiden name and then the next last name.
Oh, okay.
But when I became a U.S. citizen, they're like, "What do you want to do? You have a chance to change your name if you want to." And I'm like, "Just put them all together." So now I have 4 names. Like.
So what is your maiden name?
Really not know.
Yes, unless you're uncomfortable.
So
sharing.
wait. Share your full 4 names.
Yes. So
Yeah.
now my full name is Sharon.
Wait, but no, but what's the real? No, I'm kidding. Sharon?
Sharon Junicia Sijaya Watts.
Sijaya.
Mhm.
Wow.
Those are all really
That's
pretty
really
names.
pretty.
Oh, thanks.
See, like we're gonna go to me for a
Indulge
second.
in
Yeah.
Colin.
Yes, American names are so boring. I'm John. I'm Mark. I'm Steve. You're like Junicia, Sajai. Like these are so like,
Why
and
you
you're like I'm.
Junicia?
Oh hey, I'm Bob. My name's Bob. Hey, Bob from Tampa. That's, I don't know why I need to talk like
I
that.
don't think people
Yeah,
usually
people
don't
don't-
introduce
don't
themselves
like
like
that.
that,
Bob.
though.
Pretty much. Anyway, so
We can
so
move
boring
on.
American names. Yeah. Little Hug is not gonna have a boring name.
So Sharon,
Back to
Man.
you, Sharon.
I'm going to ask this only because you told me what the answer was and I was fascinated by it. Speaking of Indonesia,
Yeah.
we're going to go back there for a minute
Mhm.
because the question is if you could hire someone to help you with anything, what would it be?
Mhm.
But you actually had someone in Indonesia to help you with things, right? So talk about that for a little bit.
Yes, yeah, it's very common actually in Indonesia, especially when you live in Jakarta, which is the capital city. So back then, hopefully not anymore now, hopefully, but there was you could meet like a lot of people who not a lot, maybe some people didn't even have access to education and they didn't even ever go to school, and all things that they know is like do housework and stuff like that, and it's very common. You either you would have another family member to live with you, and you I don't know, help them if they go to school or helping you raising your kids or something, or you can just like hire a housekeeper or a driver or whatever you want. It's the lifestyle is different there, so it's easy to do that. And then you move here and you're like, what? That's so expensive to hire like a babysitter even or a housekeeper. So.
Right. So if you could have anybody here hire anybody here to help you with something, what would you hire somebody to help you with?
Oh, I would be like a chef and a housekeeper because I don't want to think about what to eat.
But I
next.
see on your Instagram is full of great food.
Oh, thanks. A lot of them are from takeout.
So she basically does that. She just hires just on a contract basis every night. We contract you. Contract. That's a weird.
Yeah, especially like when I wanna have Asian food, it's kind of hard to get. I don't think there's any Indonesian restaurant in Tampa area, so I have to cook it myself.
What do you think about American Asian food? Like,
American Asian food.
yeah, so like Asian food that's clearly Americanized, is it like
Yeah.
super different?
Yes.
Like, can you tell it's like, okay, this is what Americans think Asian food is?
Yeah, I know people are probably gonna think I'm crazy, but like Panda Express, oh no, like
I'm
I
not a
don't-
huge
I'm
Panda
not- yeah.
Express fan.
a lot of times
Me
people
neither.
put a lot of ginger or sesame oil and they think it's so Asian. When I'm like, "Ugh, I don't like that. It's just overpowering like flavor. So, but everybody's different. I just think like that. But I love the authentic Asian food. It's just spicy. Oh, I mean, never mind. We got there.
Sharon's getting
Don't
hungry.
go.
So at TNLC, you do a lot of things behind the scenes
Mhm.
and things like that. What's the most rewarding part of your job?
I think it's just so exciting and so special when people just excited to take their next step and just to see them from, I remember that was like their first time visiting TNLC, and then now they attended Connect Point, Starting Point, Get Baptized, leading a discipleship group or even preaching, like that's just like, oh man, things that I posted, you know, like it's so encouraging when you see people taking that step, like with the courage like
Yeah.
that. So.
And when you see a lot of that, because one of your primary roles is to administrate that process where people are going from I'm new here to all these various different things. So I mean, you
I'm
get
behind the
like,
scene. I'm
you
not,
literally
like,
get to see
Yes.
probably more than most people, like people's growth steps,
Yes.
which is really cool.
Yes, and it's just rewarding. It's priceless when you see that, like, oh, I remember them, and now they're like leading like crazy, and
Yeah.
see Jesus change their life completely. So yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so I've really wanted to talk about this. We like personality tests here. Is that where you're going to go next?
Yep.
Or we like personality tests here. And so what personality tests do we use here at TNLC, and what are your personality scores? I don't know.
Okay, I think as a staff we took personality plus,
Yeah.
this test,
Disc.
strength finder.
We do strength
Right.
finders.
I think those
And
are the,
there's one more unofficial one, but we've been talking about it a lot lately.
yeah, it's Enneagram.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I think that's where Colin wants you to go.
I know, right?
You go wherever you want. This is your podcast.
Well,
Sharon.
yeah, and that's just like
No,
the
but Enneagram.
new
No, I'm
one.
kidding.
That's like
Well,
the latest one. So.
So let's just go real quick. So
Mhm.
personality plus, what's your P plus?
Personality plus is the one that's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm
Perfect
perfect
melancholy.
melancholy.
Okay.
Hopefully it hasn't changed. I don't know.
Most of the words that they use on that, I don't know what they mean. But cool. Perfect melancholy. You just like perfect. Yeah. I'll
Right
just-
there.
Yep. I like that. Okay. So that
Yeah.
disc
This I'm a S.
can be either D, I, S, or C. You're a high
S
S.
and then C.
Which is it's a great, like you are doing what your personality really does.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Strength
then
finders.
Strength finders.
What's like your top 3 strength finders if you can remember,
Oh.
or just your top 1?
I think
or just
it's
any.
like, okay, I don't know in order, but it's like harmony, achiever, responsible, or
You remember far more than I do. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I remember all 5.
Yeah, I still can't my stuff, but that's for that.
And lastly, Enneagram.
Enneagram, I'm Enneagram 6, type 6.
What does that mean?
Well, it means I'm a loyalist, I guess.
It also means that Pastor Seth's message
With
wrecked
like
us this weekend.
So there
That's
was,
true.
So you should have
Us
seen.
sixes.
You
Yes.
should have seen the staff Slack. Now, like all the 6s were like, "Oh my god!"
That's for me. Yes.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
good.
man.
To
It's
say the
really good.
least.
So would you? So both of you are 6s, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
I've mistaken that before, and the person I mistaken with, sorry babe, was very angry. So I wanted to make sure. So you both are 6s. I don't know what I was going to ask her. Oh, so Pastor Seth's message was on anxiety. Would you say that was? So you said that was pretty right on. How does like anxiety come into the mix with an Enneagram 6?
I mean, I could probably speak for both of us that we expected this podcast to probably be the worst podcast ever, right?
Yes. Yes.
And to be anxious about
Which
all of the things.
Sam still
we-
hasn't gotten over
Worst
every
case.
single time.
Worst
leading
case
up to
scenario.
it. Yes, worst case scenario. We
Mhm.
have to start all over because none of it's recorded. And
Yes.
Yeah.
That's always like the first
Colin,
thing.
don't.
Can't do it twice.
What do you think, Sharon?
Yeah, I agree with that. And then I feel like we always have the feeling that we need to be prepared for a lot of things.
I don't know what that's like.
Feel prepared.
Enneagram 7, y'all. What are we doing today? We'll find out today.
Yeah, I can't do that. I mean,
Pretty much.
yeah, that's scary. I guess a lot of fear because like even the core fear is fear itself. I don't want to admit that, but I guess it's true. Ugh. So.
That's good. That's good.
But like just from that message yesterday, I was like, you know what? If anxiety is, what does he say? Like in fight to be closer to God, then we as a 6, we got such a lot of opportunity
Yes.
Yeah.
to be closer to
Yeah.
God, you know, because yeah.
Well, I love what you talked about. Like it's anxiety is such a great opportunity to trust God.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
there are things that like you could say like you should be anxious about this because it's bigger than you.
Yeah.
You know, but that's an opportunity for us to say, okay, but there's literally nothing that's bigger than God.
Exactly.
And so I can be anxious, but I can press in to God. I can press into Jesus and allow that to bring peace.
Yeah.
In those moments.
Exactly. Yeah.
I agree. Well, we have a fun ending segment,
Yes, we do.
and it's called Sharon with Sharon. Get it?
I thought you said Sharon is sharing it. No, never mind.
It's called Sharon with Janicia.
No,
Not even
Sharon,
gonna try.
Sharon, you're going to share some fun things about yourself. I mean, we've already learned a lot of fun things, but these are far less intimidating topics.
Is this supposed to be like a rapid fire type thing, or just kind of?
Yeah, let's go rapid fire, and I'm sure you'll interject as you see fit.
Totally. I don't have. If we're timing this, I have no way to do that.
That's fine. We'll just go.
Well, there's that clock right behind you. That
okay.
works.
We'll just. Okay. You tell me when. If it's time, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Favorite dessert.
Anything chocolate with nuts and hazelnuts, especially. I love them.
Okay. What are you currently binging on Netflix?
Ooh, Netflix. I just finished watching The Blacklist, but right now we're watching on Hulu. It's Fresh Off the Boat and American Housewife.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably, those are two.
What's your Starbucks order?
Latte, depending what day it is. Could be hot latte, could be iced latte with
What flavor?
a regular with classic syrup.
Wow.
What flavor is classic syrup?
It's
There's no
just like
flavor. It's just
Maple?
sugar.
Maple syrup? No.
it's sweet.
Oh,
Just
okay.
sweet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What is your ideal date night? Nick, listen.
Ooh, date night. It includes food. I don't know. I love exploring like new places, especially with Nick, and then we get to take photos together and exploring. Yeah, just new places. It just always makes me happy.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Roller coaster or water slides?
Water slide. Nope, not roller coaster. No.
Really?
Oh,
I agree. I hate roller
I
coasters.
hate that.
I mean, I like both. A roller coaster on a water slide.
I mean,
Well,
those
that
exist.
works.
What's your favorite vacation spot? Either that you've been to or that you want to go to?
New York City always has special place in my heart, but I think I want to go to Israel one day just to see.
Was that like the first? I've seen pictures of you and Nick. They seem
date?
to be, when I look at Nick, it seems to be early on. Was that like one of the first places you guys went?
Yeah, that's like our first date there.
Awesome.
And then every year we try to go because we love it.
How many cruises do you go on a year?
Once a year.
Sharon with Sharon once a year. That's a good
Really? It's just one? It
What?
seems like more than one.
I think
one.
it's once a year.
It's one-ish a year.
There's none this year yet.
I
because,
know.
but-
Wah, wah, wah. Speaking of quarantine, any new hobbies during quarantine that you've picked up on?
Not really. Probably yes.
I thought you started a
Netflix.
garden.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's not really a hobby. That's Nick.
That's a hobby.
Okay.
We'll answer Sharon with Sharon for you, Sharon.
It's more something that Nick loves to do.
Oh, okay.
I'm just more like enjoying that. Hey,
Is
fresh
it-
cucumber or something.
Oh, so you're growing like, it's not just flowers, you're growing like
Yeah.
fruits and vegetables.
Mhm.
That, I feel like that would be kind of cool. A garden, to me, that's just flowers seems kind of boring.
Yeah.
But if it's
People
like,
do
no,
that?
I'm filming, I think so.
I think
I think
Seems
there's
like
people,
waste.
nah.
yeah.
I'm pretty like
I don't know.
functional. Like
If you garden just flowers, you keep doing you. That's nothing wrong with that. Just
you can be you.
don't feel bad. Just wanted to make sure
I
I
don't-
do not hate you or anything like that.
No, but I get what you're saying though. There's like a functionality from it. Like you grew a
Mhm.
vegetable
yeah.
and now you get to eat
Eat it.
said vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
I wish we could like grow cookies or something. That would be my
I
preference.
know.
But
Yeah,
doesn't work like that. Anyways, that's all I have. I mean, I have a couple more, but you
you
didn't-
can make cookies.
You did.
That's a thing. It also takes a lot less time and effort and waiting.
I understand. This is going well. I have a couple more, but I don't know.
It's.
You
I don't
didn't
even know how long
look
it's
at.
been.
You didn't even look at the clock. Are we done?
I mean, I was, but I didn't want to stop you. I was so interested. One more question.
Okay, one more. What is on your Spotify playlist right now?
You know, I told Nick I don't want to share my Spotify playlist with anyone because my songs are just crazy. A lot of old school.
Hip hop.
No.
Rap?
A lot of like, what do you call it? Like a
Salsa.
timeless. Is that what the word
Classic?
is? Classic, timeless.
Classic.
Yeah, I love all the Frank Sinatra songs.
Ah, so like.
See, I was thinking like Bruce Springsteen.
Fit.
That's what I was
Is
thinking.
Frank Sinatra 50s?
20s,
I don't know.
I think. I don't know. I never done it. Like an old song.
40s, 50s?
I enjoy that kind of stuff. So.
Awesome. Great.
Well, thank you so much for joining
You're
us, Sharon.
welcome.
Thank you for sharing with Sharon over there. And thank you for tuning in to this Meet the Leader podcast. We are very thankful for that. If you haven't yet, make sure you go ahead and subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast listening app. And as always, you can email us at podcast@trinitynewlife.com if you have a recommendation of who you would like to see on the show in the future.
Yes, exactly. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Trinity New Life so you don't miss any of our episodes or great content that Sharon and her team put out there. So thank you for joining us, Sharon. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're
We had a
welcome.
great time. And we will see you all next time.
See you guys.